Hello and welcome to the Alexandra Wenman Show. Today my guest is the spiritual scientist Maria Afentakis. Maria, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi everyone.
It's such a pleasure to have you on the show, my darling. Especially because a passion of mine is talking about the links between spirit and science and all things angelic, which I know you and I have in common. First of all, can you tell us a little bit about your book? Because you have this amazing book called The Spiritual Scientist, which is it out now?
Yeah, so the book's out on Amazon for the UK and the US, and also it's available at most bookshops at the moment. So yeah, I've got it here in the Spiritual
Amazing.
Scientist. So you can see even the cover's got like angelic angel wings, and the cover was designed by a non-spiritual person, which is
They've
quite
done a
amazing.
good job, haven't they?
Because I asked them what I wanted and she came up with this. I'm quite impressed with Amy, to be honest. She did
I
very
think she
well.
channeled it.
Yeah, she channeled it through the angels, I guess. So yeah, so the book's out now on Amazon, and it's available to purchase by ebook or the hardback. And yeah, it's quite exciting that it was launched in April, but yeah, it's quite exciting time for me with the
It's a wonderful time for you. So tell us what led you to this place of wanting to bridge science and spirituality, because obviously you've got a background in science. Can you tell us a bit about your scientific background?
Yeah, so it's quite interesting because as a child, I've always wanted to be a scientist. Help people, and I was working in cancer research for 10 years at the Royal Marsden, and I loved the job. I mean, I did all the education. I've got a Bachelor of Science in Biochemistry and a Master's in Neuroscience. I've got a lot of neuroscience background as well.
Wow.
So the neuroscience is actually really important because chapter 8 in the book, it's talking about the brain and mindfulness, and everything's all linking up. So I did like biology and chemistry, the usual science. And I wasn't very interested in physics at school, but as I started going through my journey, I was like, I love physics. And then Albert Einstein came in, and he's also been in the book. He's like my
So
spiritual
you've been
guide.
channeling Einstein when you've been writing this book. This is
Yeah.
incredible.
So he was waking me up like 3 o'clock in the morning to write. So
Isn't that amazing? I've had Tesla coming in for me. Like,
oh, excellent.
it's
Yeah, I like
and I'm not a scientist, so
yeah,
some of the language I might have to run by you at some point, but it's all
yeah,
physics. I get all the physics and the maths, and they come in
yeah.
talking about centrifugal force and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I do. But I do. It's like a download, isn't it? You kind
But
of
the
get it. So
interesting thing is Tesla and Albert Einstein were spiritual scientists
they
of their
were
time.
indeed.
So it's
Yeah.
interesting how they're coming to me and also coming to you with your mathematical side, because they want us to channel this and marry it together. So we're marrying basically two ends of one spectrum and making it, as we know, everything is one consciousness. So the scientific and the spiritual side actually brings it together. I mean, it goes back years and years ago where there was alchemy. So
Yeah.
alchemy is such an important aspect of my work as well. And so so I said to my mum, I was very like academic, at school, and I did like 13 science subjects at GCSE. But I was always more drawn to the science, but also more like sociology and psychology aspects of why this happens and why people think. And I was like, I want to be a doctor. And then I was like, no, actually, I want to cure cancer. So then I went on my journey of becoming a scientist. And I loved working in cancer research, but with me, I think the healer started to come out, and I was like, I don't want to give my patients chemotherapy. I was managing a chemotherapy trial, and I think that was like, wow, like it's
Really
important.
eye-opening for you, was it? Like,
Yeah, it's important. I was like, okay, I understand, but like, I don't, I'm a healer. So then, like, the angels were like, okay, you've done all your science now. Now it's time to move on. And the interesting thing is, last year I was made redundant from my actual science job after 10 years. And I was just like left in turmoil. I was like, what is going on? Like I'm a spiritual scientist. And in that January, that's when Albert Einstein left me the message, and he was saying, right, you know, it's time to write the book now. And while I was doing that, I was also working towards my diploma in animal healing and communication with Elizabeth. I'm not sure if
I know of Elizabeth.
so I
Yeah.
spent a whole year doing animal healing, and Albert Einstein was like, right, okay, actually, I need to say to you, don't call me Albert Einstein, call me Albert, I'm your friend. I was like, okay. So, you know, it was a funny relationship, but, you know, and then he was like, the animals are going to help you heal because you're a healer and you need that healing. And then as the year went on, it was just like, it was obvious that I'm going to start going into more of the spiritual stuff. And I did get science jobs in like a temporary lab, which was amazing because everybody there was all academic, but they were into the spiritual scientists. My boss was my manager there, and she was like, oh, I can't wait for your book. Like, I'm so excited. I healed her cat. So it's really interesting because the angels are like, okay, she's so sensitive, right? Let's just transition her slowly. So I was like meeting people, scientists that were into the spiritual work. And then I was giving reading to men that were scientists, like, oh, I don't believe in this. And then I'll give them a reading and I'm like, wow, you're so accurate. Like,
But
you
isn't
know,
that wonderful? Because you speak their language as well, you
yeah,
can bridge the world. You can kind of help to make people more comfortable. People that think that what we do is all woo woo and la la.
yeah,
How wonderful that you can come in and actually say to them, well, no, this is the science of it.
yeah,
This is what actually backs it up. The mystics aren't making it up.
yeah,
And also when you talk about Einstein, I really love that. I just want to say, like, obviously for people watching, it absolutely is possible to have a connection with, you know, these people that were well known in, you know, in their lifetime, because they're working at a level of kind of mastery. They can come in and chat to anybody and bring messages through. So while that might seem fantastical to some, absolutely, you know, I've had Winston Churchill around me for some reason, and
wow,
people like that. And I do think that there is what I keep being shown is that there is this kind of council of people who were world leaders and scientists and politicians who are actually assisting us now, because they don't want to see us make the same mistakes, or they don't want to see us go down the wrong route. And I see it as like a part of the councils of light that are very much here to work with us and help us. But that's so wonderful that you have that direct connection, and that you have that scientific brain that can translate what he's bringing to you as well. It's marvelous. So I want to find out a little bit more about the sort of information that he brought through for you. Can you tell us a little bit about what direction he was moving you in?
yeah. So basically, it's like the whole book is about energy. So he's like, the chapter is what is energy. So it talks about the physics. So because he obviously was a physicist, he was like, all I keep hearing is energy cannot be made or destroyed, only transformed. But I say transformed or transferred, you know, but I say transformed because I feel this massive transformation, and it's important with Albert Einstein's actual, you know, equations. And all these equations is basically discovering this universal consciousness. And, you know, there's a lot more stuff he wants to tell me, but I'm a little bit scared because there's actually a breakthrough equation he wants to channel.
Oh my God,
So I'm just
amazing. You have
like,
to
okay, I was
bring
like,
this through.
I know. And he's just like, oh, you know, I need to visit. Like, I was planning on visiting his hometown where he was born, and also like in America where he was, you know, in I think it's Princeton University, like actually following him because there's like stuff he wants to talk to me about. But yeah, it's just so with the book, it's interesting you asked that question actually, because with the book, it's like I channeled the whole book, even though there's stuff in the book like coming from like scientific. Obviously, I've used like scientific books and obviously the internet to make sure my facts are correct, like from reliable sources. But all of the book's been channeled, even the stuff about like how like an essential oil is made with, you know, distillation in a fractional distillation way. And because I am a scientist, I've also been a tutor since I graduated. So I've been teaching GCSE science forever, basically. So it's you know, it's actually, sometimes I'll read the textbook and I'm like, okay, this is wrong. And a lot of my students
Wow.
are like, this is wrong. Like, you know, so it's like the book, it's interesting because the book is channeled, and, you know, I do give reference to some of the books that and stuff I've used, but the whole book has been, he's helped me. I mean, he initiated it with what is energy, and that was chapter 1. And then that chapter is purely science. And then when you go into chapter 2, it's the energetic aura. So we're linking it. So then it's like, then we talk about the energetic aura, how we see different colors. And I relate it to the electromagnetic spectrum of light. So visible light, all the different colors, that's related to your energetic aura. Again, there's another link. And then talking about the divine feminine and divine masculine, because I've worked a lot with the divine feminine. I know you have as well. And it's last year I was working a lot with Mary Magdalene and all the other feminine energies. And again, that's bridging the feminine and the masculine together. So it's all like bringing the opposites together. And then the next chapter is the human body. And then after that, it's the chakra system. So the chakra system that I work on goes back to Atlantis. It's the 13 chakra system. So from my logo, you can see there's 13 chakras in there with the angel wings and the DNA strand. So the other thing they're saying to me is that you don't just have a double helix, you've got more. So it's like, it's weird, because obviously I'm sure I was like a teacher or a priestess in Atlantis, and they're basically saying, we're reminding you. And Albert Einstein is helping us, he's reminding me, you know, why do you love mermaids? I love mermaids, I'm obsessed with mermaids. I went to Australia and I didn't want to come back, you know, my best friend.
I don't blame you. I don't know why I'm over here, what's going on?
You know, it's just crazy. In Australia you can see pure like crystals everywhere. You know, I did a lot of work with this guy that does loads of crystal work. I can't remember his name, but you know, it's weird. It's like I'm always dragged, and I'm always dragged to the Atlantic Ocean. So I love going to the Canary Islands because I feel this, it's just, you know, it's all this like energy, it's all energy. And what people don't seem to realize, everything is energy, everything. Like even a chair has got an energy to it. So it's just like, it's really like, I get really enthusiastic about energy. Like I'm obsessed with like,
you're so my kind of girl. I always say that. I actually say, you know, even your chair has consciousness. You can have a conversation with the chair. You can have a conversation with the house, the crystals, the earth, the grass, the trees. Everything is alive. There's nothing that isn't alive in this universe.
No, and because it carries an energy from time. You know, the tree could be there for 100 years. It's carried so much energy. And it has its own vein system, you know, it has its own sort of like a human body. It has. I
think it's so important, you know, that you are such, obviously, one of these women that, you know, the Dalai Lama talks about women, Western women are going to change the world. And so many of us are being called to step up now. And I feel like this is the thing. I keep being downloading messages about politics, and this is why one of the reasons I have Churchill around, and obviously Einstein coming to you, is that we're here to do it differently. You know, the way that we've done it in the past isn't working, and we need a whole new system. So it's not only women, obviously, but we've got a heck of a lot of women coming forward now with ideas and inspirations that are actually pioneering and way showing, and they haven't been done before. And I always say, like, we need a new system of politics. We don't have a politics on this planet that works. It's been proven time and again. It destroys the innocent. You know, it basically tramples on the innocent to put the money in the pockets of the greedy. And I think we need to start learning from the indigenous and listening to the women and the children and the elderly and the indigenous to get that wisdom. And it's beautiful because you're on this way showing path. It's absolutely beautiful. I also know that you're very connected to the angelic realm. So, you know, this is something also that I think we have in common, but I wanted to get your take on, first of all, do you think it's possible for a human to be an incarnated angel?
100%. I mean, Archangel Metatron and Archangel Sandophon were both living, living a life. And I feel like I mean, I've had loads of channeled messages from Sharon Prince, and she's the one that basically has told me. And I see Michael everywhere. Like he like as an incarnate angel, as you know, he is our father. He's our guide who sent us here. And sometimes I'm like, well, why have you sent me here? I'm so like traumatized by how humans are treating this magnificent world. And actually, yesterday I went for a walk. And I was just so upset because 3-4 days out of lockdown in the UK, there's trash everywhere. There's rubbish everywhere. People just leaving it. And I was just like, the fairies were like talking to me and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, it's just, I actually spoke to a guy that cleans the parks. And I actually stopped him and I said to him, look, I really, really thank you for doing your job. And he was just shocked. He was like, really? Like, nobody's ever thanked me. They've just given me complaints. Oh. And I said to him, could you tell your boss this? I really want you to tell this, and I really appreciate your work. And if you could put signs up as well about people taking their litter away, because it's like, fair enough, we've got this virus, but the human race, they need, if they're not teaching their children, the children think it's okay. So it's weird. And then I got a bit upset, and then Archangel Michael came in with Archangel Raphael, and they were just like, that's why I wear green quite a lot, green and pink, because I feel Archangel Michael a lot. And he's always saying to me, just be patient and persevere and you'll be fine. And Raphael's like, I'm here. Raphael's just like, he's so healing, and he's just like, he'll just come into my energy. Now, when I close my eyes, I see lots of green and blue. So I know both of them are around. And the reason they send in incarnate angels is because we have more information, we have a lot more wisdom, and also we need to take, I know it's don't take this,
honey, don't worry, you're talking to the right person. You can sound, I know it can sound very egotistical, right? I'm going to say this for our viewers. It can sound really like you're in your ego to say, oh, I'm an incarnated angel. Yeah. The truth is, on some level, we all are. Yeah. Obviously, and we have many different souls here on earth, many different souls who've come from many different other dimensions and had experience there, but I do believe that there are certain people who are basically star beings. There are certain people who are angelic beings, like more sitting on that frequency, if you will, right? And it's about bringing through pure information and having that open channel, which you obviously do have. So I think, at the minute Maria and I sat down to start the conversation, as soon as I closed my eyes, I was seeing all the information she's streaming. So I can definitely vouch for the fact that you are a world bridger. You are, we are the portal, really. And when you're working at that,
it's heaven and earth, bringing heaven and earth. And it's bringing everyone into the new world. So, it's taken me like quite a bit of my life to realize what I'm, now I know, but it's also bringing a new world and also teaching the children. This is such an important task for the incarnate angels, because again, it's not egocentric, but angels are full of pure love and light, and we want to bring this and help the children because they're actually being born spiritually gifted, and I'm actually started a school called Maria School of Alchemy, Magic and Science. So it's I've got like 5 girls on it at the moment, but this is another. I've got so many, like Archangel Michael is like, okay, you ain't just got one mission, you got so much to do. And like I keep saying to him, when I was an angel, that's fine. Like, I'm just in this body, like I can't.
It's like the instant manifestation is not so easy in a body on a 3D.
I can't go to Australia now, or I can't go to America. Like, I'm in a human body. Like, obviously, you've put me as I'm in a human body because I have to bring this message. And I feel angels, incarnate angels, are messengers in whatever way we're bringing it. And this is our job. And this was our job when we were angels. So it's just like, I know people think, okay, what's she talking about? I mean, I hashtag incarnate angel, whether people know. I mean, our PR was like, oh, she could do a movie or something. And I was like, right, I'm bringing Alex onto the boat too. I'm not doing this on my own.
You know what though? I think we need to make a documentary about us, because I've got a few people now. It's like they're all linking me up with loads of people. I think that there's something in this. It's all going to happen, Maria. It's wonderful. I want. How do you experience yourself as the angelic being? Because this is something that happens to me quite a lot. I get shown my kind of. It's like I can feel the energy streaming now. And you kind of have that experience of feeling yourself as something more than what you are, you know, that consciousnness. How do you experience that on like that physical, tangible level?
I feel my angel wings coming
Yeah.
out. I feel my angel. So I've done angelic reiki healing. So every time I would heal someone, the angel wings come straight out. Like I can feel them penetrating. But I actually had some sort of bad energy. Someone, I've had an Atlantean healing, which is quite interesting. But the girl that did it, she said, what's happened is someone's cut your wings or clipped your wings. Because I've been getting a lot of pain in my shoulder blades. It's gone now, but and basically they said that they've sort of like cut your wings because you're white light. They've cut it off. And that's why you're getting so much pain. So she did a healing for me, and like I feel like my angel wings are back. I love it. I just feel
back.
I'm obsessed with angels. Like even in my I've got a little angel anklet.
Honey, why have you and I not connected before now? This is ridiculous. Have you seen, if you go on my Instagram, you need to know every time I go out of my house, I find wings, and I have so many pictures of me with angel wings behind me now. It's actually getting ridiculous, and I don't want it to stop. I want it to keep going, please, angels, because I can't. It's like, you know how we see the physical signs, but it is almost like a sign of, yes, you are. Believe it. Believe that you are, and believe that what we're here to do is we mustn't discount the pure guidance that we're getting from our higher selves about who we are, and the time has come for us to remember. And we're here to help all of humanity remember who they are, because so many humans just don't realize that they are divinity incarnate. You know, we all are these divine beings, but I do think there are certain souls who've probably spent more time in those angelic realms, or, you know, who in previous lifetimes, maybe as humans, have achieved that level of consciousness. So I see it as like it's a level of consciousness, really. It's an awareness of the soul self from that really pure perspective. But I get so much, like you, so much confirmation. You are it. You are the portal. You are the bridge. You are the angel. You are all of it. You are God. You are the divine. And we've just forgotten. And it's pure science. It really is pure science. It's the energy of it.
Yeah, and I've been like, sometimes I rarely sleep. So when I do a meditation, you know, I fall asleep straight away, because like I'm always channeling stuff. Like when I started with the animals, every time I went out, any animal was coming to me. Like I sit on the floor and then all these birds come. Yesterday, this butterfly would not leave. She was just sitting next to me. And I was like, you can fly now. What's your message? Tell me. You know, it's just like...
You're like Snow White.
You know, it sounds like I'm mental. I'm mad. But this is...
Don't worry, honey. It happens to me all the time. You are not mad.
It's just mad. And then like sometimes I could sleep and then I wake up like catching my breath. Because I feel like our angelics, like this, our little body is not big enough for our actual angelic self. So I get a lot of that. I get dizziness, like even though I've eaten food or I've drunk, I get dizziness. I get like, I don't know, I get sort of brain fog, and I don't know, it's all sort of ascension things that keep happening. And like, I just use my angelic reiki healing crystal on myself, and then I just do loads of healing, self-healing.
You have to remain really grounded when you're doing this work too, don't you? You could fly off. Like seriously, when you're up in those higher realms, you need to make sure you're really earthed. And I know what you mean. It can make you feel quite floaty. So you have to make sure that you're coming. I think
that's where the fairies come to us and push us out. Because I don't know if we have to go out and connect to the tree, because we need to ground. They're like, you're on like the 7th, 8th, 9th dimension. You're on another dimension, on a 3D dimension. So you need to like ground, and grounding is so important. And another interesting thing is like there's been 2 authors that have written 2 books on the I think it's called Akaya, the female archangel.
Yes, I know one of them very well. She's been on my show, Callista.
Oh wow! So I've
Yeah.
just bought the book. So it's interesting because obviously they're channeling information about the divine feminine, and because as you know, feminine and angels
Yeah.
are both
They're
with.
not female or male, are they?
No,
But
they're
it's
just
it's the
energy.
feminine principle of the archangels, I guess, is what they're bringing through.
So it's quite interesting. That's like a really new thing coming up. I think.
It is amazing. They're powerful too. I know when Callista was on the show, and I've sat in on some of her meditations as well. She's a proper angel sister. Hi, Callista, if you're watching. The power of those feminine angelic energies, because they're basically the counterparts, aren't they? It's like,
Yeah.
Michael and Faith, and to me, it's like the aspect of that, and they sort of come in on more of an emotional level. I know Callista did a beautiful meditation, and I was just in bits. It set me off. I was just crying my eyes out. It just brought so much to the surface to release, and it was just that real pure love connection is absolutely stunning.
That's really interesting. With the other thing I want to plan to do is, like I've got millions of oracle card decks and tarot decks, and I want to make one for the spiritual scientist. So I've channeled like 44 cards, obviously. So like this was my big massive breakthrough yesterday, and I was like, okay, why don't I do this? So I'm going to have a deck which complements the book. So it will talk about energy, and it will talk about, obviously, like it's a different type of oracle deck. It's not like the angels what we're used to that we love, and this is a science deck. This is a spiritual scientist deck.
So you're going to bring out this wonderful oracle deck. I can't wait to see it. So Maria, who are you publishing through? Do you mind if I ask?
It's called Eclipse Publishing.
Oh, perfect name.
Yeah, she's basically, her and her husband were like, they've been publishers for years, but all sort of more stuff on accountancy and business and stuff. And then he died like 5 years ago, and her dream was to use her skill to publish Mind Body Spirits book. And like she literally, I was giving card readings and she just appeared. Like she said, I had to come to you, and she gave me her card and she said, I want to publish your book. And this was a year before I even wrote the book. So,
This is incredible. This is totally, you're being guided by
it's with
angels.
Eclipse. And also like our sort of distribution house in the UK was Roadhouse, but then something happened, and like I don't know, that they've disappeared, and then the new company is called Star.
Of course it is.
And I'm an Aquarian, so obviously, like in the tarot, I'm the Aquarian, and the star is the star card. So it's just like, okay, that's weird. So it's weird. Like she was brought to me, and I know like she's gonna be with me on my journey. I mean, fair enough. People use Hay House, which is the main one. But I feel like with that, my work's so unique. I don't feel like it relates to anything there.
Yeah, I think Hay House has its place, but I think when it comes to really deeper concepts and much higher consciousness concepts, you probably don't necessarily fit their model. They can be quite commercial, can't they? And I think there's people bringing through really important stuff. There's loads of new publishing houses opening up, which is kind of holds a different energy. There's a really light vibration. It perhaps isn't quite as corporate as some of the others. So I think it's wonderful. I'm finding it, I just signed with Findhorn, and it's like you have to find the right publisher that fits your vibration, really. No. That's wonderful. Eclipse and Star. You couldn't get anything better, could you? So what do you think your next mission is as the spiritual scientist? What's coming up for you?
So there's quite a few things. I want to complete the book on the animal healing, because I've got all my case studies ready. So the animal healing book it's like part 2. So it'd be animal healing and communication by the spiritual scientist. But again, it's also like a self-help book for people to help their pets. And through my course was so intense. We was trained by a magnificent healer, but also a lot of the work we were working with was with vets, so we've got like we can give nutrition advice. And I love giving my clients nutrition advice, how they can help their cat and their dog, and and also I can I find lost pets. You know, my best friend's cat went missing, this big ginger cat, he went missing, and she was crying. And I was like, just send me a picture. And then about 2 days later, Barry decides to go home. So I want to bring that up, but also I want to bring out a book to help the children. So there's quite a few things carrying on, and there's loads of stuff, like, but I need to take it one step at a time. So so I think that the oracle deck and the animal book is probably the next level.
That's amazing. I can't wait to read. I haven't read the first one. I need to read the first one. So this is like so exciting. It's brilliant. And it's so the time that we need all of this pioneering information to come out now. So in terms of your work, so tell us where you're at now in terms of your sort of your daily work. What's happening?
So so at the moment I'm like working, you know, I've got the children's school setting up. I also do daily, I've got a group called the Spiritual Scientist, which has got about 60 people on it, where I send them meditations and loads of information. Like, I'm always giving them information coming from the book. And I'm also devising an online course, again, to correspond to the Spiritual Scientist. I'm doing this course on project management as well, because I think, like, I need to learn how to manage my time. Honestly, I'm not managing my time well enough. Like, I should be doing a lot more if I want to.
Well, honey, you're an air sign. I know that. We're like, it all happens up here, and then to ground it is not always.
It's just too much information. You're just like, you don't know. It's funny because my boyfriend's also an air sign. So it's quite weird because he's always up. He's an accountant, complete opposite. And it's weird. It's like, you know, we have so many ideas, but it's like, come on, we need to make things happen. You know, we need to do it. So that's why I had Albert Einstein giving me that push, you know, that energy. It's like, you're going to publish the book in a year. And I was like, in less than a year. I was like, really? I think we need help, like you said, as air signs, we need help from the other realm to, like,
yeah, we need people on the ground actually to help us too. Like this morning, I was dealing with something, you know, when you come to those threshold moments, and your logic goes, you should be doing this, and your heart goes, no, carry on, do that, right? And I was like, the moment when you're about to give up on something and you're about to just chuck it all in, and I went, universe, I need help. And then I got a phone call from one of my most beautiful, amazing, grounded friends. She works in corporate branding, and she phoned me. She basically talked me down from the ledge and went, you're being tested. You have to stay in faith. Trust your heart. You know, she's like, even in business, I do a certain bit logically, but the final decision is always made by the heart. You have to go with the feeling, even when it doesn't make sense. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. I needed reminding of that. And it's always the case, you know, and that's what we're being asked to do. That's how we change the world, really, isn't it? You know, trust the heart, keep moving forward. You know, even, you know, I think at the moment because we're recording this, obviously, hopefully towards the end of lockdown now, but so many people have so much uncertainty around them at the moment. And obviously you're going through a big transition as well, as you move from your role as a scientist more into the spiritual scientist that you're here to be. And I know that you yourself have faced quite a lot of uncertainty. So do you have any words of advice for people who are kind of struggling with that at the moment?
I feel what they need to do is trust, and also bring as much love and light into their lives and heal. And the other thing is, if you send these positive thoughts to other people, the universe will give you that. So it's also, I do a lot of work with affirmations, and I really feel they help. So for example, with when you connect to different elements, like if you connect to water, I would say, like, I am water, I am blessed, I am emotionally balanced. And just saying these words 3 times will help people feel balanced. And also, I feel like people, you know, they should see this. We are at a pause phase, but this is the best time for self-development and self-discovery. And we're not going to get this time again. I know for a fact, once lockdown is up, I'm going to be so busy again. And it's just nice. Like I wake up, I have breakfast, I play with the cats, I go for a leisurely walk, you know, I talk to people like you, lovely people, you know, this is the time. And also, what do I really want out of life? What do I want out of my time? And also, I also recommend people do courses. There's so many free online courses at the moment. And do something you've never, you've always wanted to do. Oh, I want to learn how to cook food, or I want to be a gardener. And now's the time, take this as a blessing rather than look at the negative. And it was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen, because the only way we can move along is for this to happen. And
it was a bit like, stop the world, I want to get off for a while there, wasn't it? I think we were all feeling it. It was just like we're running towards this kind of
big thing. And, in the last chapter of my book, I've got loads and loads of meditation kits people can make. So for anxiety, for stress, for, so I can share one with you for the relaxation one. Use lavender, peppermint, green crystals, and say the affirmation, I am healed. Or, you can say something like, I feel happy. These words, it's all about what you say, what how you talk. And also helping others is a big part of my journey. And I really want people to help others, because it's like, I don't know, like I love the old people, because when I see them, I just look at them and I just channel wisdom from them. They're so, I really want people to help them. I feel strongly against things like that. And I feel when you help people, it will keep you busy as well. You're not going to think, oh, I'm in lockdown, or I've got anxiety. And, I lost my job just before the lockdown, like my sort of temporary science job. And I'm thinking, how am I going to cope? How am I going everybody's going through this. But if we all work together and we all help each other, this is what's going to happen. We're all going to be fine. We're all going to be fine. We're going to get through this. And we're taking our world into another more beautiful world. And that's how I see it. And you need to look at it. I mean, I get really down. I get bad days. I get good days. But if you get a bad day, I suggest going out in nature and appreciating nature, and just surrounding yourself with nature, and also helping others. That's my main advice.
Oh, Maria, I love you. I can't believe we've only just found each other. This is incredible. I mean, I know we've been kicking around Facebook together for a while, but it's about time we properly connected. It's an absolute honor to have you here and sharing your amazing wisdom with us. I just think now is the time for you to be stepping out and bringing through all your work. And there's so many of us linking up now, so it's incredible. I just wanted to ask, for your work, do you also do one-on-one sessions with people?
So I do angel card readings, or elemental card readings. I also do distant healing at the moment, because but I mean, from people, from what they've said, like the healing works really well. So I do offer angelic reiki healing and Atlantean healing, and also, of course, animal healing and communication is my other thing I offer. I am thinking about also developing, like with the spiritual science, developing like a package for people, so they can really really connect science and spirituality. So again, we'll be coming from the book, but also like assessing the elements that like the emotional side, the sort of physical side. The main thing is as well making them feel balanced. So another key word in my work is balance, and also making sure all their chakras are in the right connection, in the right alignment. And as well as also taking people into their higher dimensions, into their higher chakras, because most people really work on the 7, but I'm taking people past that up to the stellar gateway. So there's there's a lot of things happening, and there's a lot of people. And the other thing I wanted to say is that don't be scared to seek help with different things. And, you know, I'm really good at all this stuff, but I'm crap at the business side or presentation, or, you know, I've had messages and like, well, you're going to be famous, like you're going to be lecturing, like, you know, I need help with that. I need help with my, you know, with my presentation, how I need to speak. That's myself, like self-discovery and self-development. And also like acknowledge your difficulties and acknowledge things you need to improve. Nobody's perfect, and, you know, nobody should be perfect, but work towards yourself and, you know, being who you want to be. And the other thing is, yeah, be yourself, really, because other people, it doesn't matter what other people think, that's their own perception. So
absolutely, so inspiring. It's, you know, and unapologetically you, because look at all the magic and the incredible information you're bringing through. So how can people find you, lovely? What's your website?
So it's www.mariaafentakis.com.
Perfect, easy.
Instagram, I'm angelic magic 444.
Oh, perfect.
And if you want to email me, and it's angelicmagic@outlook.com.
angelicmagic@outlook.com. And for the viewers, I'll pop all the links below in the comments so that you can just go there and click, and you can find Maria that way. And we'll put links to your amazing book as well. I can't wait to read it. This is just wonderful, pioneering, groundbreaking work from a beautiful, pure heart. Thank you so much, my lovely, for talking to me today. Any parting words before we go?
Just be happy and enjoy the sunshine as much as you can. And always remember, science and spirituality is one.
It is one. It is. I concur. Maria, I'm sending you so much love. Thank you, my darling, for such a wonderful chat. And thank you, viewers, for watching as well. And we'll see you next time on the Alexandra Wenman Show. Thank you.